All right, I'm on the phone with Maine Maritime Academy women's lacrosse coach Sarah Gombar. And Sarah, it's hard to believe, but well, I guess not really with the way that Mother Nature's been. But spring lacrosse is here, and you guys have already played 2 games.
Yeah, it's been, I'm knocking on wood because you never know what could happen, but the weather has been amazing this spring. Obviously, when we look back a year ago, we were under, feet of snow on the field at this point.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it was literally crazy this weekend at one of our games. All the girls are sunburned, so just a definite interesting spring. We've kind of put the Under Armour away for a little bit, but we have it close by because you never really know in Maine what we're going to get here in the next few weeks and next really month. So we're hoping that it stays like it is, though, and it's making for some good spring lacrosse.
So you guys are, if I remember last year now, you won your first game last season. This
Yep.
is your second year as a coach. And if I remember, Pickle Juice was involved in that first win.
It was, yeah. So we started that tradition last year. Pickle Juice, funny enough, is actually really good for athletes. It's better than Gatorade, has more electrolytes and hits the bloodstream faster. So, we had a lot of problems because of the weather last year of kids cramping just during the games. It's so cold. And so, got with our athletic trainer and said kind of, what should we do? And he brought up the idea of, well, actually Pickle Juice is really good. And so I thought, what the heck? So when we went down to Green Mountain before the game, I had jars of pickles, and we brought glasses and made each of the girls take a drink of pickle juice, and then we went out and won our first game, so then it just stuck. So it's pretty funny. We did it again, obviously, this weekend, and for the freshmen that were there, we have half of them that love it, and then we have the other half that were like, I hate pickles, and we're just like, well, tough through it. So, but no, it's a thing of our program and kind of a good luck charm for us, and so we're going to kind of keep it going. So I go out and buy a huge jar of pickles at the beginning of the season and take all the juice out of it, and we travel with it. So it's pretty funny. But, yeah, that's sticking. It's here again.
All right. So March 19th and 20th, you play at Purchase, which is, I think, in upstate New York, isn't it?
Nope, right outside the city.
Oh, okay. So
Yep.
you're going to play the Merchant Marine and also Purchase.
Yep.
So a doubleheader this upcoming weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Any plans to head into the city while you're there, or is this just a business head there and concentrate on lacrosse?
No, I always, when we're doing a faraway trip, I always try to throw in something a little bit fun to work with the team. So this past weekend when we went to the Maritime Classic down in right outside of Boston and right outside the Cape there, we actually took the team on Friday night to Dave & Buster's and did a team building exercise with them there run by the Dave & Buster's staff. So we had some fun there. This weekend going into New York, yes, we are doing something. I'm pretty excited about it. Something pretty cool I think that most of the girls on the team probably haven't done in the city, let alone know it's something you can do, and so we're pretty excited about that, but I'm actually not going to share it with you until next week because I told the girls they don't get to know about it. So
okay.
All they know is that we're going into the city on Saturday night and we're doing something as a team, and I think they'll be pretty darn excited when they get there and see what it is. So I'm super stoked for it, and I think it's going to be kind of a fun event for us to do, get the team together, go into the city, see some things, but yeah, we will be doing something, and I'm sure that next week I'll be able to tell you all about it. So.
Okay. And then the first home game is, it's Easter Saturday, March 26th, so right around the corner.
Yeah, it's a crazy season for college lacrosse. No matter what division or where you are, it's crazy to think that this year we started games on March 12th, and our last game is April 30th. So we literally play our entire season in less than 2 months. So it's jam-packed, and every weekend we're turning around to something new. The girls are starting, and some of the newer players are starting to understand the college game compared to high school of the turnaround time. I mean, it's hard to believe we came off this weekend off of 2 tough games. The girls had Monday off. Yesterday we just went over a few things, and I got them into the pool because everyone's still sore and beat up kind of from the weekend. And we really have today and tomorrow of straight strict practice to fix all the things that we, needed to readjust from this weekend before we leave on Friday for our next one. So I told the girls at the beginning of the season, and I think for the freshmen that we have, they're starting to learn this part of college lacrosse is, you have that whole month of practice to begin the season, and you kind of have to teach everything, because once you get into the season, you only have a couple days to make readjustments. As a college coach, it's a little different. If you think halfway through a season you can kind of rewrite your offenses, defenses, any of that, it's really, really tough to do because you have really short practice time in there. So, the biggest thing, which I think for any college lacrosse team that will make or break you, is your ability to readjust in games and quickly, because you really don't have a lot of time to go back to the drawing board.
You've got a smaller roster this year, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15 girls on it.
Yep.
I mean, that's going to be a little challenging.
It is. I knew when I came into this program and building it, I knew that we were going to have a transition year. The year that I kind of have to start to make the lacrosse culture and make room for a big recruiting class, and that's this season. So when I got this job, I started on this 2016 recruiting class. That's kind of where everybody else was in the country at that point when I got this position. And so this next year's class coming in is my first real official class, and I've been working with them as long as I should have been as recruits. And so that class coming in is a bit of a larger one. We're still, waiting to have the exact number, waiting on a few more commitments, but it's going to be a bigger class in the 2016-2017 class. So I kind of got left with this spot of this year of, making that adjustment is, do I keep a bunch of kids that eventually, may have to fight for a roster spot when we bring in some of the players that we're recruiting? Do we kind of sit back and see what we had? So we had a lot of meetings with a lot of players in the fall, and just making sure that people were here for the right reasons, that they love the sport itself now. Now that we're getting more into the lacrosse in depth and asking more out of the players lacrosse-wise, we were looking for those kids that, love the sport. And I'll always be a coach that if a kid really wants to try the sport and, can come out and wants to give us their all, they can try out for the team, no question. And we have 3 of our freshmen this year have never played lacrosse before. And so it's never about their lacrosse ability. It's about just making sure they love the game, want to get better, and want to improve every day. And so, at the end of kind of when we were getting ready to start the season in February after our fall ball, I sat down and thought a lot about this small roster and thought, but these are the kids that are here for all the right reasons and that are going to make our program successful, in the next 4 years. And so we're really excited about it. It's a smaller roster. It's made me be creative on some of the things that we're doing this season. We threw in a new little twist to play with such a short roster. But overall, I think we're going to be fine. The girls showed a lot of great things this weekend. Our new players really stepped up and showed me some things that I didn't expect to see in the first weekend. We have a really, really strong freshman class that came in, and so it's exciting. We're starting to get that lacrosse culture. I'm starting to get to work on lacrosse-specific things that I didn't get to do last year, and we're starting to really dive into this game and kind of what it can be. So it's getting exciting. It's exciting for me to be able to put in some more complex offensive, defensive, different things that we're doing. So it's getting excited, and we're looking forward to it. And I think no doubt that these 15 can accomplish the goals that they set at the beginning of the season. And the biggest goal of this team is to have a postseason, and no doubt in my mind that they can't make that happen.
You've got a girl from Sumner, Hannah Fleming. She must be one of those that is new to lacrosse because they don't play lacrosse at Sumner Memorial High School.
No, she is. So Hannah came out. She was a big tennis player, actually. And to be honest with you, I've transitioned people from pretty much every sport across the board into lacrosse players, and I had never done a tennis player up until this point. And so when Hannah came out, I didn't know how it was going to transition over. But to be honest with you, she has amazing stick skills just because she's been used to holding a racket. And just some things that I had never even thought that she would be amazing at showed this weekend. She had one on the defensive stance where she just went and picked off a pass. And then she threw it to somebody else, and after that play, she came over to me and she's like, "Coach, I can do that, right?" And I was like, "Yes, every single time." And so
and
she just
doing it.
Exactly. And she just said, well, it's kind of tennis. Like I knew right where the ball was going to go because it was the only logical place. And I was like, yes, every single time you can do that, do that. So it's been exciting to watch her grow as a player. And we have a couple other freshmen that are coming that just have played different sports and wanted to try. And this weekend, to be honest with you, they blew me out of the water of just some things like that I hadn't even taught them yet that they just did. So it's exciting to see. It's why I also take some players that have played other sports that want to try, because you never know what thing that they can bring to the team. And obviously we learned that with Hannah this weekend. So.
All right. Who's the crazy goalkeeper that we should keep an eye on this season?
Well, to be honest with you, Chris, I have two.
Okay.
Last year Ashley Knight played goaltender for us and did an amazing job. It's super hard to come in as a goaltender having never played goalie or even lacrosse before. And Ashley has showed us so much. I think she belongs on the field, and I think she's pretty happy to be there this season. But going off of last year, I knew I needed to go out and find goalies. It's one of the hardest positions to coach really quickly, and so that was kind of my focus on this incoming freshman class. We did that. We brought in two stellar goaltenders, Sierra James and Christina Wilson. Both of them are great goaltenders, a little bit different in their goalie styles, but overall amazing. So the worst part is I'm telling you, they're both just as good. This weekend we decided to put Sierra in net. I just kind of wanted to see her this weekend in net. We put Wilson out on attack. And here's the crazy part. Sierra stood in net and did an amazing job for us. Came up with the Maritime Classic All-Tournament team as the goaltender of it. And then also won NAC Rookie of the Year this week, so she came out and just stellar. But the worst part is what most don't know is sitting on my attack, and somebody who scored 2 goals for us this weekend is another goaltender. So I took the other goalie out, put her on attack. She hasn't played the field. She doesn't. And she went out and scored 2 goals. So the fact that I have 2 goaltenders that are both dangerous in net and out of is super exciting, and I know it's going to do amazing things for us for years to come.
All right.
But Sierra's completely showed she really is an amazing goaltender, and I think the most exciting thing to watch about Sierra is her ability to readjust during the game. In Sunday's game, it became apparent, and I think blew a couple people away. She came out and one girl scored 2 goals on her early, and they were 2 goals that I looked at Sierra like exactly what she's going to do now, and she readjusted, and that girl scored 0 goals the rest of the game. But I always push my goaltenders. I actually started coaching as a goaltending coach, so it's my favorite position to coach a lot of the time. But my big talk with my goaltenders is don't let the same goal go in twice. I don't care how many you let in, as long as it's not the same exact goal twice. And I've looked at the shot chart from this weekend, and Sierra did just that. And when you can do that and readjust and make sure no one scores on you in the same way, you become that dangerous goalie, and that's where she was this weekend. To be honest with you, she's going to be in and out of the net. She is also probably one of the fastest players that we have on the team. She's a cross-country runner, too, so eventually, there may be times with this small roster that I want to get her out of there, and doing that, I'm only putting just as good of one back in. So it's exciting for me to watch it. Sierra had an amazing weekend and deserves every award that she got over this week, and we're excited to see what's to come with both Sierra James and Christina Wilson in the net position. But then the worst part is watch out for them when they're on the field as well. So.
All right, Sarah. It sounds exciting. We can't wait to follow the Maine Maritime Academy women's lacrosse coach, the team, and we'll have the coaches show every week, and we'll get it up online. And of course, we want to make sure everybody likes the Maine Maritime Academy Women's Facebook page, a lacrosse Facebook page, because you're putting up movies every Monday.
Yeah, we started Movie Monday last season, and we're continuing going through it. To be honest with you, when I started it, I didn't think about the fact that every Monday I have to find the time to make one. But no, the parents love it, our fans love it, and it's good to kind of showcase what we do this weekend. So if you want to see what a day in the life looks like of our team, make sure to like our Facebook page, like you said. And every Monday, Movie Monday, we take our GoPro with us everywhere, and it kind of captures everything that we do as a team. And so every Monday there's an episode, and you can see what we've been up to for the last week.
All right, Sarah. Have a good week.
All right, thanks, Chris.